Thank you for being a part of the journey. For those of you who are watching this, this is the start of a very special project that I'm excited to be able to begin. This is the start of an ongoing life journal that I am going to be uploading to Ibble. And so the vision behind this is to be able to literally continue to use this thread here in Ibble to be able to document my ongoing journey as an individual, as a soul, as a bigger part of the collective shift in consciousness. And so as I kind of just allow myself to just kind of feel what this space is going to be like, what I want it to be like, opening up to what it needs to be like, I get to be able to share this space with you. And as we start this space, I'm going to continue to just be uploading content as I feel called. Maybe it will be, once a day, once every other day, twice a day. I don't really know. I mean, the fact is, I'm at a very, very exciting point within my life. Literally, at the time that I'm filming this, many of you know, today is April 1st, and there's no jokes about this, but really just embodying the archetype of the cosmic fool, being able to see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture that I'm seeing has been one that has been weaving itself for many moons now at this point. And for those of you who do not know, I'm currently at a very exciting precipice within my journey where literally in the back room of our house right now, my fiance, my wife, my girlfriend, my partner, Lacey, she is chilling out with our cat, and she is very, very pregnant right now with our son. And he is literally, we are patiently waiting for him to arrive any day now. And we've been saying any day now for past couple weeks. She's currently at about 40 weeks. And so for me, having this space to be able to practice sharing, to practice document, to practice being able to create this space so that I can share. I hope that this actually inspires others to even continue to use Ibble for their own life journals, to document their own journey. This is a practice. What happens when you turn on the camera? What do you want to share? What comes through? What comes forth? So here I am. This is a very exciting time, as I said, where I get to be able to reflect on what it means for me to be where I am. And one of the questions when it comes to journaling and the word journal, it's literally journal, journey, right? What is the journey? For me, journaling has always been a very important practice. I can honestly say that I haven't gotten into it quite in the ways that I used to. Back in the day, I would literally write, entire books. It was these novels of books, and I would doodle and everything like that. Again, I'm 34 years old now. I've been, kind of exploring my own journey of Gnostic Ipsum for quite some time and documenting that journey in written form. And nowadays, it's just whether it's an excuse or just the circumstance of the life I live, I don't find myself writing as much. So that's where, for me, this is also me reconnecting with something that I'm passionate about, to be able to create this sacred space for me to be able to practice talking. If people watch this, great. I love the idea of people being able to share and listen, and I hope you genuinely are curious to hear more about my journey. But first and foremost, this is for me. And in the same way that I would hope that your life journal that maybe you get inspired to make will be for you. So, something I can literally go back and watch in a month from now, a year from now, who knows, right? Who knows what this is going to be? This is again, a bit of an experiment where I just get to allow it to be what it needs to be. So taking a moment here to just be able to reflect as I'm just fiddling. I don't know, as I was about to do this, I just this crystal was on the floor. I'm just I'm just gonna pick up this crystal and just hold it while I do this. Having something to fiddle in with my hands kind of just helps me focus. But yeah, I do want to take a moment here, and this will be the focus of this video, at least for now. Here I am at this point in my life where literally ready to become a father, and in many ways I already am a father. A lot of people obviously at the birth in itself, it's just yeah, that's a big moment as well. But the role of a father is an archetype, is a caregiver, is a supporter, is a nurturer. So since the moment we found out that Lacey was pregnant, even right in that moment, it's just okay, father mode activate. But even then, even before then, it's always been something that I was at a party not too long ago, and one of my good friends, good buddy of mine named John, and he said something to me that really just kind of stuck with me. It reminded me of something very important. And he said, remember, within your epigenetics, there is the bloodline of 1,000 fathers. and to me, it's just like, whoa, like that's really powerful. Thank you for saying that. And he was just really just like holding space for me. He's a father himself too. And his words really meant a lot to me because, you know, like I think we oftentimes will put a lot of pressure on ourselves to say like, oh, like, you know, like you have to do all these things to reach a certain expectation and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think it's important to be able to balance it, to be able to trust in our own innate abilities, to trust in our own nature. And that's where, you know, even from Lacey talking to me, and she's just like, you know, you're already such a great father. You already just kind of like naturally show up in this way. So for me, I'm very excited to meet our son. And I'm very excited to be able to even share a little bit of that journey here with you as well. For those of you who are curious, for those of you who get to tune along and check in with this, you know, and I'm also creating this, I'll just segue here right now for those of you who are watching this. I'm also creating this here on Ibble in such a way where I'll keep the Q&A portion open, inviting you guys to be able to ask me questions. I'll respond to your questions as a part of the journal. If you're like, oh, Brendan, how do you feel about this? Or what does this mean to you? Relative to my life journal and things going on, please, by all means, leave your comments, ask questions. But going back to my main thing here, and just chit chat for a little bit longer. But yeah, you know, like for me being a father, it's interesting because it's like, I always knew this day was coming. And even when I was younger, you know, it's just kind of like, when I was younger, you know, I was like 26, 27. And so much of my focus was on the work that I was doing for community. It was on, you know, Paradigm Shift Central, which is the project that I built. It's a community of people who are helping shift paradigms, seekers, shifters. And that was something that for me, I was very much like embodying that fatherly archetype, even within the work that I was doing as a community facilitator, as an entrepreneur. And I always kind of trust it, where it's just like, you know, it's just like right now, you know, I see some of my friends, or maybe there's this expectation that, oh, I should be a father before I'm 30 and stuff like that. And you know, for me, I always kind of have this feeling where it's just like, oh, like I'll probably become a father, like probably close to when I'm like 35, which is literally what's happening, right? Like my birthday is in July, July 18th, Cancer, what? And, you know, so I'll be 35 by the time our child is here. And for me, it's something where I'm very excited to be able to like enter into this new stage of not just like, you know, meeting this child and holding space for them and helping them grow and helping them learn and helping them see these new parts of themselves, see the world through their eyes, for them to see the world. And, you know, like, there's so much about that. I'll have to keep talking about it more as we go. But again, for me to meet that part of myself is also something very interesting. Like I not only get to become a father, but I get to meet myself as a father. Like that's the part of the life journey, is right. Like we're constantly meeting ourselves, we're meeting different versions of ourselves. So it's like, who will I become? Not only is my son being born, I too am being born. A new version of myself is being born, and it's not even like new. You know, a lot of times like our growth, it's like a Fibonacci sequence, right? So it's like the versions who we are with a new version kind of compounded on top, and then it kind of like spirals. It's like boom, 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 boom. So, you know, the version of myself as a father is a version of myself that has already, you know, spent years like being able to know who I am, to be able to kind of like live a life by code and virtue and morality, and really being able to align myself with the things that I feel important, and really doing my best to be able to like continue to live a life of integrity and you know, honor and all these things that for me are just very important, a very important part of who I am, while still being flexible to learning and making mistakes and growing. That's a part of it too as well, right? So here I am at this next point where it's just kind of like all of those things have kind of like prepared me for this next step of being the best father I can be, while still being gentle, still being soft with myself, and still accepting the fact that I'm going to be human, and there are going to be times where I'm going to doubt and have uncertainty, and that's okay. That's a big part of it as well. So I'll just kind of get close to wrapping this entry up, and then I'll definitely be making more, and soon enough one of these entries will be like me telling you about it, be like, he's here, you know, our son is here. And so, you know, for me, this is a very, very special time in my life, and it's still very surreal. Until I'm holding him in my arms right now, it's very much just like an idea, right? He's in Lacey's belly, he's in Lacey's womb, but even still, it's just like, until he's here, there's still kind of like this little bit of a precipice that is waiting to be crossed, a gate that we are entering into. And I've definitely spent a lot of time like reflecting and meditating, and be like, oh, like what will it be like to hold his arms, to you know, to hold him in my arms, to see his face, to see his eyes, to not just see him as like this baby, but to literally see him as a soul, to literally see him as something that beyond the perspectives of linear space and time is a conscious awareness that already has a relationship with me. What does that feel like? What will that grow into? How will that help me grow? How will I help them grow? You know, for me, being a father, very psychedelic, right? Because for me, it really kind of goes into, you immediately are seeing the bigger picture. Who are they here to be? And to not take ownership over them, right? But to be able to support them in being who they are here to be. And that to me is something incredibly powerful, incredibly special, and it's a gift that not everyone gets. And I realize that. I realize I am very blessed. And from this place of humility, you realize I am so blessed, you know, with a lot of things in my life. I'm aware of it. I'm aware that I am blessed and fortunate and privileged. And so for me, from these places, it's just like, how can I continue to make the most of that? How can I continue to show up in a way where that humility motivates me to want to be able to do the best that I can in whatever circumstance that may be. So being a father is just, it's something that I'm doing for our son, and I'm so close to saying his name, but you know, we're just going to wait a bit. Very, very beautiful name for those some of you know what it is. Not everyone does, but yeah, our little Wolf. I'll tell you, Wolf is going to be his middle name, but so I'll just refer to him as Little Wolf for now. But yeah, you know, it's me doing this. It's for my son. It's for me. It's for Lacey. It's for our family. Lacey already has a 7-year-old son, so you know, it's him being a big brother. It's for that as well. It's our dynamic, and it's for more than that. You know, I look forward into the future, like years, and it's just like helping raise this baby into being a young man. A young man who will be his own being, who will continue to help change the world in his own ways. And for me, that is something that is, you know, I'm still I'm still reflecting on what it is to me, which is exactly what I want to do. I'm like, oh man, I better make this before he arrives, right? So here I am making that. Again, on the day of the Cosmic Fool. And this was actually his due date today. So, but again, as we know, it's not always, you know, they don't always come on their due date, and that's totally fine. But we're patiently waiting, and we're holding space, and any day now. But I'll wrap this up. For anybody who's actually like watching this all the way through, you know, I hope you guys can just like put me on in the background and maybe just putter as you're doing it. I don't know exactly how long these videos will be in the future. I'm going to continue to upload them to Ibble. I might upload this in a couple other places and help redirect people over to Ibble. And yeah, I'll do my best to just continue to document this experience. And honestly, just talking about this is medicine for me. It helps me. It's a meditation for me. And I thank you for being a part of this journey. And please feel free to leave your comments, ask me some questions. I'll get back to them within relative time. And I hope this inspires you, like I said, to perhaps even create your own life journal. And yeah, I'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much, and keep on keeping on. So, all right, Wolf, we only live forever. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Much love. Thanks again.